The camera stopped recording?
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
All these guys are still on. We have 32 minutes on that one.
All right.
3 hours plus.
How's the iPhone going?
3 hours on this.
So we just had a camera that stopped recording. That one that I think is recording now. So a couple plus.
So here we are again, guys. We're back. We're back.
A couple of pluses to that, though, is that we actually have another camera rolling. So, I mean, if you did have just a couple minutes and you had another camera, you could switch over and basically continue. It wouldn't be like, oh, missing footage. No.
Yeah. Kevin, I think it's important when you can't see me. You got to look at the camera for your close-up shot.
Wait.
There you go. It's the only camera that's on, right?
No, that one's on.
They're all on.
He pushed.
Oh,
He pushed
jeez.
recording in.
Here we go, Frankie. After I talked so good about you, we need the red light above the cameras or something so we can see when they're on.
Yeah.
That's right. Or just a monitor. A monitor would be good. Well,
A monitor would be fantastic.
on a pult, we'll get one.
I'm
We'll get one.
confused on whether or not we're doing headphones.
No,
right
I mean,
now or not.
it's coolly enough, you were able to stay on your mic really well. Your audio sounded good without headphones. So, and I don't know if you felt like more free to move or be natural without them, but either way, it's fine with me. I mean, I don't care. There's no rule. We're making the rules as we go.
no rule.
There's no rule.
Okay, I choose to hear better then. I'm going to leave my headphones on.
Yeah, you can use that like NPR voice on here. You can,
There we go.
welcome to this American life.
Dude, how about Rush
I'm Ira
Limbaugh?
Glass.
How sad is that, dude? A legend, man.
Just had to go there.
Dude.
It is a loss, and regardless of whether you liked him or not, or agree with his politics or not.
Yeah. I mean, that's
he was
beside the point.
He's doing radio for 4 years longer than or 4 years less than I've been alive. I think he's had his show.
I think they were saying what, like 30 years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's
32
insane.
years or something like that was when
Good
I
for
heard
him, man.
Yeah.
Legendary. Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
He died. He passed.
Yeah, Frankie needs. Welcome to
We need those millennial
being out of the cave.
Yeah.
Like, who's Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah.
Frankie.
I've heard the name, he says. Oh, man. Okay. All right. He's heard of him. Anyway,
So we're back for another round. I think we have all our cameras recording now, and
back on track.
back on track. We did a little bit of brainstorming. It's right, labels out.
There we go.
Branding
Now,
forward.
now we're back on track, guys. Here we go. All right, ready, go.
All right, now. And so I just wanted to start this second little segment off just a little more. I feel like one of the things that's easier for us to bring to the table content-wise is our process, our thoughts about the creative side of things. So we're shooting on. I decided to shoot on the white wall today. This is a giant white wall that I have in my studio. Most of the requests I get for headshots are headshot on white backgrounds. So I was tired of setting up background stands all the time. So I literally just floated a wall and sanded it flat and painted it flat white. And so now I've got this giant white surface to shoot against. But it just, when considering your background for your podcast, I think you can just understand that you can shoot against bookshelves or in your study or whatever. But if you have limited space,
we're not cool enough to have the neon light back there yet. We're gonna get this big old bad to the bone neon light for that white wall. You guys will see.
the neon's probably going to go.
All these guys back there, they're like, man, we already have some cool stuff.
Right.
But yeah,
The neon will probably go over by the bricks, I think, for like the bohemian
Sure,
setup
yeah,
back there. I think
yeah.
that could be cool. I don't know. We could move it around if we need to.
I think we definitely at some point need to jump on the neon background light ship.
It kind
and
of
join
is
the
like you've
club.
arrived if you've got it.
I know, so it's fair that we don't have one yet.
No, yeah, we have not yet arrived. So we're on our way.
Gelled blue, mind you.
Yes. Which, if you want to see just on video, they've got a little light sitting underneath the table here that's casting a little blue onto the wall here. So there's without it, and here's with it on. Pretty much using most of the lights in this studio right now. I don't think the lighting setup needs to be this complex. Probably one good light could do it. But again, since we put the pressure on ourselves to, have something that looks good, sounds good. That's where, we've got big orange bars off to behind John and also another set behind me. And those are casting kind of that orange glow, the Touch by an Angel lighting behind us.
Nice and warm.
Yeah, and the thing I love about the white wall when I'm shooting portraits and even for the video stuff is that, if you don't light a wall, if you don't put light on a white wall, it turns gray. And if you have a dark room and you don't put light on it, and you can control the light that's on your subject, it can be black. So I mean, the white, fully one color white background is very versatile. If we were to take our orange bar lights and point them back at the background, which we might do later on just to show you guys what it looks like,
Sure.
you then have that white, infinite white background, and a little bit different look, and it's just really easy to pull off like quickly. And when I'm shooting portraits in here, I like to be able to start with a lit white background, and then halfway through the shoot, let's try someone gray, and just boom, turn the lights off, and then you've got a gray background back there. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then any other little pops of light that you can throw on a background, like our little guy under the table, can bring a little dynamics to your solid gray space. If you want to color it up a little bit, throw some color on there, that's a good deal too.
Yeah, a lot of different lighting options out there. So you could do a million different things and kind of invest into a bunch of different systems, but I think it's important to maybe find something and then get some like little like snoots or grids or barn doors or whatever, and just kind of play around with that kind of stuff. That's kind of fun stuff to do, I think.
So great on the snoots and grids and all these fun little terms. So the grids and snoots both act to just pipe light in a nice tight beam at stuff, so it doesn't spill all over everything. So one of our lights is, we've got a gridded light back here. So that's a really hard, tiny little light that's up in the corner. And then this light here in front of us also has a grid on it. So it kind of pipes the light really directly at us. And it does give a different quality of light when you're doing that too. It's not just more narrow, but I feel like the light kind of feels a little different just to me.
Yeah, for sure. I think all they are is just like little ways to tweak the direction of the light,
Control stuff. And so, and again, if you're thinking for yourself, or you're trying to get, like literally anything can work. So, I mean, a lot of video guys I know have just that white foam board. They'll just set up on an easel, and then they'll bounce a light into it. Or if it's sunny outside, they'll put a little white foam board on this side and just fills with white light. So you can use those car windshield metal looking things, the reflective car windshield. I've used those for lighting tools before. Those work really good on the cheap.
Those are probably one of the better options. But I mean, I think, like I was telling Joey the other day, I mean, the reflectors are so cheap. I mean, those are almost one of the tools you're just like, it just makes sense to have one, I mean, if you're going to be even semi-serious.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite lighting tools, especially if you're limited, because you can it takes like a light like this. I've got a big octabox up here, and when I'm shooting portraits, I just do this and a reflector on this side, and what that does is just turns this light into two lights. So you've got now a big fill light coming in from this other side, and you didn't have to buy another light. You're not powering it. You can take it outside. It works great with the sun. You can block light with it if you need to. A lot of them are
smaller and easier to work with too.
Right. Really mobile and portable and all of that, which is great. So, which, speaking of mobile and portable, I think one of the things that has been my goal is, it was one of the first things we talked about as a team, about, okay, we want to do a podcast, and both our video guys were like, don't look at us to edit any of it. Like, we don't want to do it, and so immediately we volunteer Frankie.
Thank you, Frankie.
But I think on my own too,
for showing up today.
That's right. And for the 6 hours of work that are coming afterwards.
Put it on that invoice.
That's right. So, I mean, I think I just, really wanted it to be something that I could put together on the fly on my own, without having to rely on a trained video professional to produce the podcast and come out with even the clips from the podcast. Like, I wanted to be able to just, get a hold of footage, dump it on the computer, maybe do a little color correction on it, and make sure the audio is synced up, and then put it on my iPhone and edit in iMovie or, whatever.
I do everything on my phone now, man.
And it's great. The more I do on my phone, the more I do on the phone, the more I enjoy it, because it's something I can do during a quick break.
Dude, they've got you.
They do. Yeah. Well,
they've got my kids too. Those little phones. Whoo, they got those kids.
You got to get them Razors. Those Razors make a comeback.
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting ads for Razor right now. Renee.
Hey guys.
That's right.
From the rumor mill, I did see the very first supposed patents on a foldable iPhone. Ooh. Foldable iPhones.
Mine folds. right now.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see that.
Just gotta drop it a few times on the ground, and then you can get unique folds.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, foldable glass in the future. I mean, I
Right.
know Samsung tried it and failed miserably, I think, from what I
Right.
know.
Right.
But
Start getting
Who
those
knows? Anyway.
OLED screens, man. You can just spray a screen onto something and hook a diode to it, and it's bang, it's on.
maybe you just like unfold it into like this huge computer. You just unfold the thing and you're just like, oh man, this is perfect. I don't even need a computer anymore.
But think about when they can do spray screens. Literally, like you could just take a spray and spray this mug, and then you've got a screen there. Like
They've got
you
the
can
ones
put
that
it
like,
on.
well, they like project or something, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
And you can kind of see them. Like those are the future, right? They just project up and you're like, I want 10-inch screen. It's all touch screen.
Just an air screen, like a hologram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could project it on anything. You could project it onto your.
Well, that little one that you could do in your arm was debunked. That was like,
Of course it
fake.
was.
It was fake. It was like a Kickstarter deal.
They had that shit on Back to the Future or something.
Yeah, it was like, bring. You like turn your wrist and then like it would shoot the screen. And you could
It's
like
been debunked.
push the buttons.
Of course
on there.
it was.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Yeah, that's maybe our grandkids. I don't know. Maybe they'll get to have that kind of stuff. Who knows? But probably not for us. We don't
Nah, I
have to
don't
worry about that. But anyway, off track. Where were we going?
Speaking of mobile, we were talking about mobile, doing everything on the phone. So I really want to have the ability to ultimately have some power to push out what we're producing here just straight off my phone, because you can do it while you're, waiting for somebody or driving somewhere or whatever. You can just, while you're on the freeway, you can be editing your video. It's great.
Yeah. From our standpoint, here's why it makes so much sense for us, and like why it's exciting to think about the stuff, the apps and stuff that you were showing me earlier. Is that, it's about putting yourself, I suppose, where other people in the workspace that they're working in, and they're all working from their phones. I mean, so it just makes sense to produce the content and put it there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's part of what would, make their lives more fluid. But, I still feel like, and I don't know how long it'll last, but agents are going to the office still. I mean, how long do you think that'll last? I mean, having these like workspaces.
Well, I don't think agents are in their offices right now.
Well, I know they're not right now, but
Not
what I'm
because of
saying,
COVID. I mean,
I'm
that's
saying this day and age, the offices are still there. There's not people in them. So how long does that make sense? And how long does that last? And
there's just so much paperwork with our real estate agents that I feel like they're always going to want that little cubby cubicle somewhere that they can go sign papers with a client at.
well, I think more than that,
Agents let us know.
more than that, I would assume, and I don't know this. Yes, please correct me because I'm probably wrong. But I would assume that there's some sort of percentage that they're paying into the company, and I would assume, want some sort of, there's got to be some give and take within a business relationship like that, is what I'm saying. So, what are the perks? What do I get? I mean, I don't know. I've never tried to sell houses, so I can't.
What are you talking about? We sell houses every day.
I always like
We
to
don't.
try to
Yeah, we don't do the
drop-
hard part.
No,
we do the
no,
fun
no.
part.
We just finesse the I don't even know if finesse is a good word, but try and reassure. Let's say reassure the homeowners or sellers. I think would be, it's like, oh hey, your agent's got it under control. I mean, everything's gonna be fine, because I think there's a lot of stress involved in selling the house and all that kind of stuff. So
Right. I just tell people, if we're here, your agent cares about you, because
Yeah.
we cost money, and most agents don't want to do that. And
Yeah,
so
they're investing into
yes,
you,
they're
you know what I
making
mean?
an investment. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, they're investing into the marketing. They care about selling your house and your property. They care how it looks and how it's presented. I mean, that speaks volumes as far as your agent is concerned, I think.
Yeah.
But
So we're talking a little bit earlier about keeping your finger in the wind and kind of being aware of what's available, where things are going, what's next. We've been saying, at least I've been saying, and I think our team as well reflects that, because we have Joey and Derek, which are both full-time video guys. Video is the future, right? I mean, video is the future. Photo is fantastic, and I think it has its place, and it's very important, and will maintain its importance. But I think that as far as marketing goes, marketing ourselves, marketing your products, marketing your houses, I think video is one of the most powerful ways you can do it. And something we've been playing a lot with is, we've seen other people doing it, and we've, wanted to see how it applies to the real estate, industry when it comes to marketing is animation, like photo animation. And so that's our latest thing over the last few weeks. There's now, apps available to, do photo animation again on the phone, on the mobile, on the fly. It's a fast thing. And so if you have the photo expertise, you understand, some of the elements, and even when you're shooting the shot, like knowing I'm going to animate this later, here's how I'm going to shoot it. This is what elements I'm going to bring in for animation, whether it's fire or water or, some sky. And so we've been doing and maybe we can try to do a cut in through this video as well and pop a couple of those animations up so you can see what they look like.
Yeah. They're cool. They're kind of gimmicky. I thought they were cheesy at first, but it goes back to what we were saying about, hey, just put yourself where people are advertising their house or whatever they're doing. They're putting it on Instagram probably. As far as where are you going to put it for $0 where a bunch of people can see it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Or even better yet, boost your post for $15 and, if your animation does happen to look cool and not cheesy, which some of them do look cheesy. But
the future of that is just...
Yeah, it's just kind of early. It's like, again, our fingers in the wind. This is, I think, this app's probably been available for a little while.
Yeah.
I certainly haven't been seeing... I haven't been seeing a lot of people using it for real estate, though. And we've actually hired out in the past to do these types of animations. We've hired...
And they're like, let me just get that on my phone real quick.
This was pre the days.
I'll text it back to you.
Yeah, and the guys who...
You guys just like, idiot.
$600. Oh, man. Our agent really wants an animation. Let's do it. But I think, there's the people we've hired out to do the animations have obviously got more control over what elements are animating and how they do them. There's a little more. There's a little more spice than what we have on our run and gun iPhone app that we're using right now. But again, I love the iPhone app. I love that I can keep the cost down for my clients on that, because agents, again, if you want to throw that little extra in there and say, hey, we can provide you with even more spice, something really unique that no one else is doing in town for your listing, and we can do it at a cost that makes sense, that it's like, just throw it on there. Like, why wouldn't,
Yeah, but I also, we hadn't talked about this aspect of it yet, but, they can just download the app themselves and take whatever photos they get from us, do it all themselves. Just as easy. And I don't know.
Which I'm not always opposed to that, to be honest.
No, we've done it, multiple times in the past, because there's only so much we can do, and there's only so much we have time for.
Yeah,
and
there's
certain things that make sense and certain things that don't make sense, to do, and But
then also, I think that the sales answer, how would I sell our company on it to somebody who could download the app and do it themselves, is they could also take their camera and take the photos themselves too. And so,
yeah, now he's mad.
No, I'm not mad at all. I'm just saying that, like, there are agents who know how to take photos, who could do a decent set of photos, who still hire us to do it because it's one less thing they have to do.
Totally.
And they're
like, hey, I'm hiring you to market this place. Just
right. Like,
get it
I
done.
need this
I
box
don't want to
checked.
download it. I don't want to,
I need this box checked off so that I can move on to other things that are more important to me than digital marketing. And so for us, this is our sweet spot. We love digital marketing. So we can totally do it. And there are agents, I'm sure, who would ask me, like, well, can I have the keys to that app? Tell me where you're doing this at, and if they want to do it all the time and need to save the money and I don't really care about it and they're a great client, they're sending us a ton of money, I will just give them the key. I'm like, here's how I've done that for our virtual staging service, because I don't like doing virtual staging.
It's just time consuming.
It's
hard.
very
it's
difficult. Like, not only do you have to be able to put couches and artwork in, but you have to know a little bit about design. Like, you have to know, what
Not
couches.
Kind of, you have to have style and taste if you're going to stage a room. But my biggest thing is it's time consuming. It's time consuming, and it's expensive to even, to do it.
Right. Costs us money to do it.
So you got that much time and money involved in it. At some point, you're just like, does this even make sense? You want to do it. Like, if somebody's like, hey, I don't want to do that either. That's why I'm hiring you to get it done, and they're ready to pay the money. Fine.
Right.
But it's a process, and it does take time.
But like the virtual staging too, it's like, you could have access to the app or the service that we do our staging on.
Yeah.
But even just having that doesn't, again, we could give you our camera and say, go do it. It's, again, just having it doesn't mean that you're going to do it the same way we would.
Yeah, not only that,
with
there's
the
like, we sell houses,
animations,
we don't do that, you know.
with the animations, even as I was showing you this app that we're using, and you're like, oh, the skies I was flipping through, there were several skies that just plain simple didn't work, and it was obvious where they weren't working. And to us, it makes instant sense why that sky's not going to fit there. But that's not an immediate thing. That's something we've learned over dropping 1,000 skies into 1,000 photos and understanding where shadows are coming from, the dynamics of light. And so even that, you could have the app and you could probably get good at it and do it yourself.
I think those apps are going to get better and better and better. And
that's the hope, man. I hope that I would love to see even like a premium pro account where you can buy, 1,000 more skies, or you can get, these kinds of expansion packs coming. That's my hope. That's why I'm on the app now, getting good at trying to figure out with what it has kind of a limited ability to do. Yeah. And hopefully they expand it and hopefully they grow it. I mean, it looks like they've already released several other apps. And so I think they do have plans to kind of be forerunners in this type of thing, which is good. So
yeah, but I think it would be important for us as we grow and expand on products is like making sure that quality level's there and just saying, hey, we go further. We don't do it on the app. We do it with high resolution images on the, in whatever desktop software it is. So it just looks really choice,
Right.
And
well, and I always like just giving them options. So even if we get into that point where we're doing, we have somebody on our team who's doing renders, and they're 3D motion graphics specialists, which is something I think would be really cool to incorporate into our business.
It'd be amazing, man. Just set them up over there in the corner. Frankie, you're hired for that also.
Get to work, son.
You're hired for that.
Well, and I've had Frankie do research on this before. I've sent him on the goose chase saying, hey, find me a graphic rendering artist. Find me somebody who can put a building on a vacant piece of land, because I want that. I want to be able to do that for our clients. Find somebody who can model, a potential structure on a piece of land, because I think that's a good and important thing. Yeah. And then somebody like that could be also immediately specialized to take still photography that looks great and then juice it with 3D animations. And so I think whether, and again, it's like if you take the time to learn this stuff and research it yourself, then you have the power and control in your own hands. If you can find somebody who's young and impressionable and needs a place to jump off, that's what I like. I like finding people who are young and impressionable.
Giving away the keys to the castle over here.
Because those people who work hard for you and they're cutting edge already, I think that, there's something to be said about that. So, yeah, my ageism.
Yeah. That was a free tip, guys.
Free. Right? If you're old, get someone young.
A sturdy back. You can carry a lot of weight.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess just to wrap that little thought up, I think that the animations are going to be really cool going forward. And I think, just with us trying to be, front runners in the marketing side of things, it's not just photos, it's not just video, it's a lot of different things. And now it's a podcast, and that is, I think something that we're a little late to the game on in terms of just in its conception as a whole. But I think we're kind of right at the right time in terms of this isn't our full-time job, is to sit in front of microphones and get likes and views. But it's now a tool that we're going to use to boost our job and to make our connections grow stronger and to stay, relevant in a time where, especially with COVID, we're not going to see people in person. So
yeah, hopefully it ties in really well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will.
And, it'll be good for the now, like as we can reach out and start getting connected right away with the people that we want to. But then I think as hopefully we get to, do barbecues and office visits and, photo shoots more often like that with our clients, that this will just be something we'll be glad to have built and figured out a little bit about. And agents are already asking me, I've got the one, some of the, like Scott, several of our agents have been like, I have questions for you already about how do we do this better. And that's maybe one of the most exciting things for me, is just to have some know-how about it, some understanding about it, so that we can, when you guys have questions for us, say, oh, well, here's how we troubleshot that, or we figured that out. Just knowing is good. Knowing's half the battle.
Yeah, for sure. Talking to people that are doing it also, and just having conversations about it, great way to learn. Scott's a cool dude.
He is.
Yeah. I haven't heard his podcast, but
well, and we get to invite him on soon too, and I think that'll be the next. I think you mentioned this earlier, is just how do we invite people in, and I think that it'll be nice. The whole point of this, kind of the whole genre, is to do interviews and to sit down with people and have conversations with other people, bring other people in, guest speakers and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I think right off the bat, it'll be enjoyable. I think we want to start our
Guest speaker.
War Story Wednesdays, invite agents in to come tell us stories, maybe do some email campaigns, see if people want to submit their best, worst story from working in real estate.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that might be a good one. I
And
got some stories.
We might share a few of ours too, because we got a couple. We got a couple.
Yeah.
So looking forward to continuing on and moving forward, trudging forward.
Yes.
We will continue to show up. And I think that, again, that seems to be the most important thing for us, is to just show up and to put on a calendar and do it and be intentional about it. So another good day.
Righteous.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Later. All right.
Sweet. That was a good little round 2.
Yeah.